All right, LSU gets the victory 23-22 over the Arkansas Razorbacks. It was not pretty. It probably never was going to be pretty. In fact, there's some people at the station that thought Arkansas was going to win the game. Ha, joke's on you. They did not win the game. The LSU Tigers found a way, and they're probably feeling pretty fat and cocky when it was 14-0 Razorbacks there, and it happened in a hurry. Arkansas blocks a punt, and I believe the stat is 78% of college football games, if you have a special teams touchdown, you typically win the game 78% of the time. Feels like pretty...
Seems high.
No, I mean, but think about it. Special teams touchdown is usually like a complete game changer. Mm-hmm. When it happens, it is like the ultimate momentum swing, and so Arkansas gets away. It was like the most clean block punt you've ever seen. Like, it didn't even make a sound.
Yeah.
You know, typically you hear doot whenever they block it. There's no sound. I was like, where's the ball? I'm up in the booth trying to find the ball. It was a clean block. Arkansas scores on that, and they had another
that guy
touchdown.
didn't block it, the guy next to him probably would.
Oh, there was two guys. Yeah. It was a complete miscue blocking a sign. It's like, I don't even know that they thought that the ball was snapped. It was like, wait, the ball snapped. What's going on here?
We went on one.
So Arkansas gets a block punt. They add another score, and you are down, Matt, 14-0 in the blink of an eye, right? I mean, you're down, and things aren't going your way. And with the way this season's gone, it's like, man, this offense right now, can they come back from 14 points down? Because, you know, after they score that, I mentioned it, they get the touchdown run there from Green, their quarterback, and before you know it, I mean, you're down. It's the first quarter, and you're going into the second quarter, and you're sitting there thinking, okay, this is one of the best offenses in the country. You're certainly not one of the best offenses in the country. The defense is going to have to help you out. The defense is going to have to play superhuman, it feels like, to get you back into this game, and the defense certainly made so many plays, and we'll get to that. But credit to LSU for not just saying, oh, man, well, 14 points. Yep. So it takes us 3 quarters to even think about scoring 14 points. Ain't no way we can come back from that. And after that, remember, they put together a 9-play, 75-yard drive. Took a little bit over 4 minutes off the clock to make it 14-7. That was one of, if not the best drive LSU's had this year.
Yeah, certainly, especially in the time of the game, time of the season it was. I mean, real easy for a team that things haven't gone their way. Lose your coach, come back game after you lose your coach and lose a game. Now you're playing at home at 11:45. You know, certainly not near a sold-out crowd by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
And you go
better than I thought.
Yeah.
It was better than I thought.
And you're down early like that. You give away a silly touchdown on a blocked punt, totally blown assignment on the punt protection. And then to have a drive like that is fantastic. So, yeah, I would agree with you. I mean, just for the moment, and just like impressive drive on, you know, just kind of putting everything to the side, put everything away, focus on your job, focus on the X's and O's. And I thought they did a lot of really nice things. Van Buren struggled to get into the game early. You know, it's first start, got some nerves out there, accuracy problems early on, which has kind of, I think, been the knock on him in practice and everything. So it's certainly some accuracy issues there early on, but settled into the game, made enough plays to obviously win the game. But you know, early on in that long drive, I thought the running game in the first half was pretty darn good too. From a lot of talk about the offensive line this year, you know, protection having issues and the run game having some issues here and there. But was it really their fault? Were they given the opportunity to, you know, get to the second level? And you know, with the whole RPO mess we've talked about earlier in the season, I thought they did a really, really nice job this past game of playing with energy, playing with a little mean streak. Even the last week, even in Alabama, I thought they were trying to bring the pain a little bit. I thought they were trying to be the hammer a lot of times in the running game. Now, they're missing a little bit. Their footwork and their aiming points weren't great, but they had that. You could see them trying to throw their head, throw their shoulders, throw like they were trying to bring a little bit of pain and a little bit of thump to the other team. And they did it again this week. They was just their aiming points were a little bit better. They made contact a little bit more. They played a lot. I saw improvement in the running game from last week to this week. And you know, I get it. Your opponent's not as good. I understand that, but I watched like little things of how they're they're double teaming up to the second level, how their aiming points of their hat placement when they're coming around and leading up to the will linebacker, whoever it is. So I thought a lot of that was improved, and it certainly kind of showed up. Of course, I think Kane Durham has that big run early, touchdown run. What was it, 27 yards? Yep, it was great. And I have that clip ready to roll. We'll show a little bit of tape today, a little bit later on in the show. We'll just kind of go through some big plays throughout the game and really talk about why this is, who made some good blocks here, the scheme, and how that play kind of unfolded right there. So, but yeah, it was really impressive, I thought. And, kudos to that offensive line in the run game for kind of, the season that they've kind of had up to this point and really playing with a lot of energy.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many key stats in this game. And again, Arkansas's offense was one of the better ones in the country, certainly one of the better ones in the SEC. Now, defensively is really where they struggle, but offensively, like that's something that they could count on. Bobby Petrino had really gotten Taylor Green playing at a very high level. They're running the football really well, and, multiple pass catchers are stepping up and making plays for them. Let's look at a tail of the tape. And here's why LSU wins the game, right? First downs, LSU 21, only Arkansas accounts for 16. Third down efficiency, which Arkansas was so good coming into this game on third down, one of the better teams in the country. And you were not. You weren't even related to something good on third down on offense. But you flipped the script. On third downs in this game, Arkansas was only 2 of 11. 2 of 11. Now, they did convert 3 fourth downs on 4 chances, but on third down, where they had been one of the best teams in the country, 2 of 11. For LSU, you were 8 of 17. You were almost 50% on third down. That was a big story in this game. Total yards, you outgained Arkansas 390 to 340. You throw for more than they do. You were better as far as your completion percentage. Yards per pass, you were 7.1, they were 8.7. They throw 2 picks, you don't throw an interception. Running the football, and here's probably where you won the game. Now, they ran for 175. That stays true to who they are. You ran for 155. You ran for over 4 yards a carry. You haven't done things like that. And I know it's not setting the world on fire, but again, you haven't lived in that world. You haven't had success like that running the football. 3 turnovers for Arkansas, none for LSU. Time of possession, 34-45 for LSU, 25-15 for Arkansas. How do you win the time of possession? You convert on third down, and you run the football. That's how you have time of possession in a football game. So I know Arkansas's defense is not the best by any means, but it was so good to see LSU do things, Matt, they haven't done all season long.
Yeah, I mean, you said it great. I mean, this is a game we said it before. This was to us, this was a must-win game for LSU.
Oh,
and it wasn't pretty, but it was a must-win game for a lot of different reasons. For maintaining recruits, for maintaining a little energy with this team, because
it would have been the first time you lost 4 games in a row since you know what year?
Like 90s,
1999. It would have been the first time you lost 4 games in a row since 1999.
Well, I'm glad that didn't happen.
Yeah, Taylor, how old were you in 1999?
I was 3 years old.
Okay. It'd have been the first time since Tay-Tay was 3. Mm-hmm. Probably just going from diapers to pull-ups, maybe some underwear situation, I don't know.
Yeah.
Knowing me, I was probably a late bloomer, so who knows?
Certainly not underwear at night. It was definitely diaper at night.
So it was a long time ago.
The day. Well, I'm really glad that didn't happen. But we thought this was an important game for a lot of different reasons, because you want the opportunity to be able to take your time in the whole coaching search. And I'm not saying losing would have sped up the timeline.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that conversation could have been had.
Yeah.
Because if things started to spiral, which we don't even have to discuss too much, but if things started to spiral, maybe that conversation is had, all right, do we need to solidify this a little bit sooner than we thought we could?
Yeah.
Like waiting a little, we thought we could take our time, blah, blah, blah. But we avoid that conversation.
Right.
And you saw the energy from the team afterwards. So, like, you saw what it meant to them. You saw what it meant to that team. You could clearly see, like, the message that Frank had given them all week was like, hey, we're going to win this game, and we're going to, as a team, we're going to celebrate with our fans too. And you could tell that they wanted to do that, the post-game, celebrating with the fans. Because, like you said, I wasn't in the stadium this weekend, but you said the student section was there.
Yeah, they stayed.
Stayed the whole thing.
Yeah, there was certainly more people in the stadium than I thought there was going to be.
Right.
It was by no means was it a sold out crowd, but a little bit before kickoff, I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah.
No, it just turns out that, classic LSU football, the traffic situation was just really poor. And the fact that they still don't have that figured out remotely blows my mind because it was just people trying to get into the stadium. It actually filled up way, way better than I thought it was going to. And so, yeah, they were celebrating victory. Again, you lost 3 games in a row. You get down 14-0 in this game. There's a lot of people that picked Arkansas to win the game. They didn't think you would show fight. They didn't think you'd find a way to win the game. And so, obviously, it's not going to be one that we talk about for years to come. But it's solidified, like right now, getting a win, kind of allowing you to take a step back, look at what you have coming down the road. You got Western Kentucky, which obviously you're supposed to win that game. And then you got an Oklahoma game where if you go and win that on the road, then that's something you can take. You can take something from this season. And a disappointing season and a season that didn't go the way that anybody planned, you can at least take something from it.
Yeah, I mean, this is hopefully gets you a little momentum. You got a Western Kentucky team, then you get an opportunity to play obviously really good Sooner football team. So there's opportunity ahead for you. Great start for Michael Van Buren's career here, I guess. I mean, he had to start last year at Mississippi State, but being able to go out his first start and get a victory and a complete team victory. It's not. I don't think he shocked the world by how amazing he played or anything. But we'll kind of get into his performance, show some plays from that, and I just we've talked about the bones of this and the foundation of this offense isn't really set up right now for quarterback to be ultra successful and to take over a game.
No,
and we'll show a little bit of that. So
no.
there's a lot of poor plays that he made that it's really not on him. There's not a lot of plays to be made out there, but he showed some fight, showed some grit, and able to use his legs a little bit. Things that we've been hoping to see all season, and that's kind of one of the reasons why of course he's not this triple option zone read type dual threat quarterback, but he gives you enough to escape the pocket, step up in a pocket, and move around and move the sticks like that and get some positive yardage out of what would be a negative play. And I gotta ask you, is there anybody that hates the Arkansas Razorbacks more than Harold Perkins?
They hurt him somewhere along
the
way.
Line.
Like somebody in an Arkansas shirt when he was young hurt him.
He looked like Harold Perkins Jr.
And he is certainly held that for his entire adult life.
Yep.
He's held that grudge.
Something just clicks in. I thought Taylor Green was supposed to be pretty good.
He had been. And Gordy said this on the broadcast. I think Harold Perkins kind of got in his head pretty early too.
He didn't look very good in the game. And I've watched him in multiple games on film this year, and they're making dynamic plays.
Yeah.
Now he's not a consistent play
but
in play out type
plays,
of quarterback, but he made off schedule plays all season, and they made big plays all season.
Yeah.
They just couldn't get the guys open like I've seen them throughout the season.
Yeah, the LSU defensive backfield.
They played fantastic, and everybody and Harold Perkins played. He made plays like we've wanted him to do every single week in, week out. It just hasn't happened for whatever reason. And he made those plays. The defense played hard, man, and made Taylor Green look like, a pretty subpar SEC quarterback.
Yeah.